to hover, fly backward, and even upside down. Unlike other birds, they generate lift on both the downstroke and upstroke by rotating their wings 180 degrees at the shoulder, acting more like propellers or oars. Hummingbirds are so small that you would not expect them to fly especially fast, but they can fly up to 60 miles per hour. That's 100 kilometers an hour. Wow, what an amazing little bird. This one is the smelliest bird. The crested auglet, found by the Bering Sea. Crested auglets are small seabirds that nest on remote cliffs in the northern Pacific and the Bering Sea. But it's their smell that really sets these birds apart. They smell like tangerines. Experiments show that females go for males that emit the strongest scents. One of their most striking features is their eyes, which are pale yellowish white and stand out sharply against their dark feathers. Around each eye, they also have thin, white, hair-like feathers that extend backward. Often described as whiskers, giving them a very distinctive facial look. During the breeding season, their appearance becomes even more dramatic. They develop a bright orange bill and a small forehead crest that droops forward over the eyes. Their eye appearance can also change during courtship. Males are able to reduce the size of their pupils, which makes the eyes look even paler and more intense, almost entirely white in some moments. This is construction task is to weave their materials into a vertical ring, suspended like a large curtain ring, which forms the middle structure. On one side, they build the egg chamber, and on the other, the entrance. In the case of the African masked weaver, the whole process takes 5 days, during which the bird will manufacture several thousand weaves and simple knots. Remarkably, all it uses for the construction is its bill. Biggest plunge dive. The northern gannet found on the Atlantic coasts. Northern gannets can dive from heights of 30 to 40 meters. That's 100 to 130 feet, hitting the water at speeds up to 100 kilometers an hour, and typically reaching depths of 10 to 22 meters. Though they can pursue fish down to about 30 meters. They streamline their bodies by folding their wings before impact, while built-in air sacs in the head and neck act like cushions. After the initial plunge, they can use their wings and feet to swim deeper in smooth U-shaped dives to catch prey. The bird has no external of the things they eat are flies, moths, bees, ants, and grasshoppers. That adds up to between 924 and up to 1,596 food items a day. It makes up 40% of their body weight. Toadies usually have 3 eggs. And during the late nesting stage, they deliver food at a higher rate per chick than any other parent bird, with an average of 140 feeds a day to their young. Wow, that's a lot of eating. Best tap routine. This is the red most patient feeder. The shoebill is found in Central Africa. You're not going to use a bill like this for anything ordinary. This aptly named shoebill is a true specialist, feeding almost entirely on lungfish. These are big, sluggish fish of well-clogged, shell its favorite food, ants. The tongue protrudes beyond the tip of their bill, further than that of any other bird. In the case of the black woodpecker, it can amount to a distance of 2¼ inches. But it isn't only the length that is unusual. A woodpecker's tongue is capable of independent movement at the tip, which makes it a great weapon for lapping up prey hidden away in holes. The sublingual gland secretes a sticky fluid that causes food to stick to the tongue's surface. The tongue is also specially hardened to enable a woodpecker to impale soft-bodied creatures such as caterpillars or grubs. The tip is further armed with clusters of 3 to 5 backwards pointing barbs or hooks, which can cling onto the prey. Wow, that is so cool and interesting. What a unique bird. The greediest berry eater. The Bohemian waxwing, found in the taiga belt of the northern hemisphere, is known for eating a lot of berries very quickly. They are medium-sized, highly social songbirds, known for their nomadic, wandering lifestyle in search of fruit during the winter. In the winter, it eats between 600 to 1,000 berries a day, which is twice their body weight. Wow, that's a lot of berries. Why do they consume so much? For winter survival. Bohemian waxwings rely on high sugar frozen berries like mountain ash, juniper, and crabapple when insects are scarce. They're specially adapted for this diet, with which proves effective against most assailants. However, it's their claws that are truly deadly. The cassowary has 3 toes per foot, each one bearing a claw. The central claw grows up to 5 inches long and is sharp as a dagger. These birds look almost prehistoric. I think their colors are very beautiful, though. Most beautiful feathers. The Ragiana bird of paradise, found in New Guinea. Wow, look at this exquisite, beautiful bird. The Ragiana bird of paradise is celebrated for the incredible beauty and variety of its feathers, especially in the males. Their most striking features are the long, flowing flank plumes, which shimmer in fiery shades of orange, red, and gold. These delicate feathers are soft, airy, and flexible, allowing them to billow outward into a spectacular fan during courtship displays. Beneath the vibrant plumes, the male's velvety black body feathers create a dramatic contrast that makes the bright colors appear even more radiant in the sunlight. Their wings and tail are fitted with stronger, more structured flight feathers that help them glide and maneuver through the rainforest canopy, while smaller contour feathers smooth and protect the body. Females, in contrast, are covered in warm brown feathers. deepest penguin dive on record was more than 550 meters. That's 1,800 feet. In 2013, an emperor carrying an electronic tag stayed underwater for more than half an hour, breaking previous records by 5 minutes. The penguins keep warm with an outer waterproof layer of contour feathers, paired with an undercoat of fluffy afterfeathers and plumules that trap insulating air next to the skin. The emperor is the largest of the 18 penguin species. Adults can weigh up to 40 kilograms at the start of the breeding season. How do they stay warm in those icy cold waters? Penguins have around 70 feathers per square inch. These short, stiff feathers are packed tightly together and overlap to form a waterproof, wind-resistant barrier. Beneath the outer feathers is a soft, downy layer that traps air against the skin, providing most of their body heat insulation. A thick layer of fat beneath the skin helps shield their vital organs from freezing ocean temperatures. Wow, that's so interesting. The most precarious nest site. The white tern found on tropical islands. On first seeing this picture, you are probably wondering what that egg is doing there. There's no nest in sight, just an egg balancing on a branch, with an ethereal-looking white seabird staring soothingly at it. Something is surely not right, but it is. This egg is lying where it was laid, put there intentionally. The nest of the white tern is perhaps the most precarious nest site of any bird. The slightest of bumps would dislodge the egg, causing it to tumble down to the sand below, where it would probably crack. Yet, the tern risks this balancing act for safety's sake, to protect its egg from ground predators. It is common for the egg to be in the canopy of trees 66 feet above ground, on a branch that measures 4 to 5 inches wide. Terns normally scratch out the bark with their feet to give the egg more balance, and they will also lay the egg in a natural depression. with its bill stretching 4 inches. This extreme adaptation allows it to feed on flowers with very deep, narrow nectar tubes, such as certain passion flowers and Datura species, that most other pollinators can't access. This is a classic example of co-evolution. Over millions of years, the flowers evolved longer structures, while hummingbirds with slightly longer beaks were better able to reach the nectar and therefore had a survival advantage. Over time, this created a highly specialized relationship where the bird and certain flowers are essentially matched to each other like a lock and key. When the sword-billed hummingbird feeds on nectar, pollen sticks to its head and beak. As it visits the next flower, it transfers that pollen, helping the plant fertilize and create new flowers or fruit. In this way, the bird and the plant benefit from each other. The bird gets food and the plant gets to reproduce. A huge flock of European starlings, thousands strong, meets up in the winter twilight and, using the sky as its stage, wheels across the airspace in a breathtaking display of aerial coordination. The phenomenon is called a murmuration, and it's named after the noise that is made by the many flapping wings of a group of starlings in flight. It's not clear why starlings make a murmuration, but researchers recently found that it's most likely to keep them safe from predators. Starlings form the incredible patterns seen in a murmuration by following simple rules of movement in relation to each other. When in flight, each starling matches their movements to the birds surrounding it. If one starling changes its flight direction or speed, the birds around it also change their flight direction or speed. This change spreads throughout the group and creates the patterns of the murmuration. Longest time aloft. This one is a really cool bird fact that I didn't know. The sooty tern, found widespread across tropical and subtropical oceans worldwide. These birds are renowned for their incredible endurance, remaining airborne for over 4 years continuously after fledging, only landing to breed. Yes, that is correct. Sooty terns have relatively poor feather waterproofing compared to many other seabirds, meaning they cannot safely rest on the water without becoming waterlogged and losing the ability to fly. Because of this, they live an almost entirely airborne life, spending months or even years over the open ocean. They feed by skimming the water's surface while in flight, dipping down to catch small fish and squid, rather than diving or floating. They are also thought to be capable of extremely brief micro-naps, sometimes just 1 to 2 seconds long, while still flying, allowing them to rest without landing. They only return to land to breed, often not until they are between 4 and 10 years old. In rare Isn't that incredible? Woo-wee! Look at the size of this nest. Sociable weaver nests are massive, permanent, communal apartment complexes built by small sparrow-sized birds in southern Africa. These, the world's largest bird nests, can house over 500 birds at one time, weigh up to a ton, and last over 100 years. That is just incredible. Resembling large haystacks stuck in trees, they are built by using twigs, dry grass, and plant material. Each family of birds has its own entrance tunnel at the bottom, which can be up to 10 inches long and 3 inches wide. The nest acts as a natural climate control system, with inner chambers staying warm during cold nights and outer chambers remaining cooler in the daytime heat. While desert temperatures outside can swing dramatically, the temperatures inside the nest stay remarkably stable, usually varying by only about 7 to 8 degrees Celsius. The roof acts as a defense against predators, while the prickly straw at the entrance deters unwanted visitors. These nests are constantly maintained and can last for over a century. That is amazing. This one has the keenest eyesight. Look at this regal-looking bird. This is the golden eagle. Widespread throughout the northern hemisphere, eagles possess some of the sharpest eyesight in the animal kingdom, with vision 4 to 8 times stronger than the average human. They can spot prey from over 3 kilometers. That's 2 miles away. Their eyes are nearly the same size as human eyes, yet they occupy 50% of the skull, allowing them to function like high-powered telephoto lenses for extreme distance, detail, and color detection. Here are some really cool facts about their eyes. They have massive retinal cell density. Their retinas contain 1 million light-sensitive cells per square millimeter, resulting in higher resolution and color vividness. With eyes angled 30 degrees from the middle of their face, sharpest hearing, the barn owl. Found worldwide. Have you seen one? Owls are famous for their nocturnal habits, big eyes, and round faces. But they don't see very much better in the dark than we do. Their truly astonishing talent is their acute hearing. The barn owl is perfectly able to catch living, fast-moving food in total darkness without using its eyes at all. How does the barn owl hear so well? There's a few reasons. First, asymmetrical ear position. The right ear is typically higher than the left. This difference enables the owl to detect precise vertical sound location, with sounds from below the line of sight reaching the right ear slightly sooner. Number 2, facial disc structure. The heart-shaped face is composed of stiff, dense feathers, the ruff, that act as a parabolic antenna, funneling sound towards the ear openings. Number 3, exceptional sensitivity. Barn owls can detect sounds up to 10 times softer than what humans can hear. Their hearing is sensitive enough to locate prey beneath snow or in high grass. And lastly, rapid neural processing. Their brains can process a 30 microsecond difference in sound arrival times, allowing them to pinpoint the exact source of a sound in 3-dimensional space. That is so cool. And now, if you've made it this far, we've come to the last bird. The silliest antics. The kea, found in New Zealand, is known for playing. I love this one. The kea is a highly intelligent and curious parrot, native to New Zealand's South Island. Widely known as the world's only alpine parrot, and famous for its remarkably playful and mischievous behavior. Often called the clown of the mountains, kea are renowned for their sometimes destructive play, which includes attacking car windshield wipers, stealing items from tourists, and tossing objects. Kea are the first known birds to have contagious playfulness. They use a special warbling play call that works much like human laughter, encouraging nearby kea to join in often turn everyday objects